Hi, welcome to Take 5, where we daily consider devotional thoughts from Oswald Chambers' book, My Utmost for His Highest. Today is August 30th, and the title of today's devotional is Usefulness or Relationship. Do not rejoice that the spirits are subject to you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. Luke 10 and verse 20. From the outset, Chambers begins discussing the premise of today's study. Jesus Christ is saying here, don't rejoice in your successful service for me, but rejoice because of your right relationship with me, which is reflecting on today's focus scripture. Our joy is to be found in our being of right relationship with our Father who is in heaven, ahead of our being known for some great work that we do for Him. Chambers says the trap you may fall into in Christian work is to rejoice in successful service, rejoicing in the fact that God has used you. Yet you will never be able to measure fully what God will do through you if you do not have a right standing relationship with Jesus Christ. Granted, this message was first spoken to missionary students, but the consensus must be held that we all are to be servants of Jesus Christ. We each have purpose in God's kingdom, and if you keep your relationship right with Him, then regardless of your circumstances or whoever you encounter each day, He will continue to pour out rivers of living water through you. Each of us daily encounter people, and we are going to influence them after some fashion. That influence will or won't be empowered by His Spirit, which is the river of which He speaks, depending on the closeness of our relationship with Him. Most times we won't even be aware of the depth to which we will influence others, and to this, Chambers says, it is actually by His mercy that He does not let you know it, for if we constantly knew how much we were of influence on others, it could horribly inflate our ego. Chambers offers now the key to today's study. Once you have the right relationship with God through salvation and sanctification, remember that whatever your circumstances may be, you have been placed in them by God. God wishes to place us in different places and with different people so to be of use to Him, but it all begins with our relationship with Him. That relationship will decide if we become bitter or angry about where we are in life because we resent our circumstances. It will be pretty near impossible or desirable for God to use that angry person. Chambers warns God uses the reaction of your life to your circumstances to fulfill His purpose, as long as you continue to walk in the light as He is in the light. God used Pharaoh's reactions to Moses to fulfill His purpose. He used Jonah just as well, and neither were happy with their circumstances, yet God used them for His divine design. Paul said, forgetting what lies behind and reaching forward to what lies ahead, I press on. His attitude was that of wanting to be in right relationship with God going forward regardless of how life used to be. Chambers gives reference to the attitude of our Western civilized work-oriented society in his next statement. Our tendency today is to put the emphasis on service. Beware of the people who make their request for help on the basis of someone's usefulness. If you make usefulness the test, then Jesus Christ was the greatest failure who ever lived. Jesus wasn't a name-dropper type person that impressed people if told that you knew Him. He wasn't one out to hobnob with the elite, so to make a name for Himself. Christ's life was centered on emphasizing how to be in a relationship with God. O.C. continues, for the saint, direction and guidance come from God Himself, not some measure of that saint's usefulness. It is the work that God does through us that counts, not what we do for Him. Don't feel it important for people to know your name, but the name that is above all names, in which every knee shall bow. Chambers closes with, all that Christ gives his attention to in a person's life is that person's relationship with God, something of great value to his Father. And now may God's grace and peace be ours as we seek to live our utmost for his highest. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being with us. Bye now.